What's up guys, welcome back to Destiny Updates. Today we've got a new Destiny drawing board to look at, this week featuring the Duke MK.44 Hand Cannon. This weapon has seen a lot of action in the gameplay demos, so we're already a little familiar with it. Now, this isn't actually an exotic weapon, so my previous assumption that they were only going to feature exotic items in this series was incorrect. Anyways, let's take a look. First, Tom Doyle, art lead, says it's a modern masterpiece. Then there's this piece of concept art we've already seen. After that, Deej talks a little about the uses for this gun, saying, there will be battles in Destiny that cannot be won with a thundering rifle or an explosive rocket. More desperate moments will find you backed into a corner by ferocious squatters, dead set on evicting you from a haunt of our lost civilization that they've claimed as their own. When you find yourself up close and personal with a hostile landlord, and you will, you'll want a trusty hand cannon by your side. So obviously hand cannons are an excellent high-powered revolver, great for close quarters. Then we see an old work-in-progress piece of concept art. This actually shows a few attachments that the current model doesn't have. I imagine those could be customization options. After that, Deej says, from the drafting tables of our weapon foundries of our last safe city comes a standard issue revolver available to anyone brave enough to wield it. So as I said, this isn't an exotic weapon, so it should be readily available to all Guardians. Then Tom Doyle says, this version of the popular model makes short work of combatants who underestimate its quick draw hollow sight and hair trigger, which means that although this is a fairly common weapon, it still isn't the base model. It sounds like the holographic sight and hair trigger have been added. Then we have this early work in progress in-engine render of the weapon, which looks pretty nice. After that, we get a mention of the FOTC, or Forces of the City. Deej says, the Duke might not be exotic, but that doesn't mean it won't get some love from its owner. Like any gun in the FOTC arsenal, it can be customized over time to fit perfectly in the hand of the hero who brandishes it. So again, stressing customization in Destiny. Then Tom says, it's a solid piece. This weapon is most commonly associated with newer Guardians who equip a sidearm in their primary loadout. Again, indicating that it's a pretty common weapon, easy to obtain early on. Something that caught my eye here though is he said primary loadout. Personally, I think he just means that in a casual sense, as in when you're kitting out your Guardian, you sort of build your loadout. But I thought I'd point it out just in case it might mean that we can have a list of loadouts, which we could set for different types of missions or just different moods, and then simply selecting the one we wanted before going out on our mission, instead of manually equipping everything when we want to change it. Then we get this first-person view of the weapon, which still says work in progress, although it's obviously pretty close to final. Getting close to the end here, Deej tells us that this is not a quiet weapon, saying, the Duke MK.44 is not a weapon designed for silent standoffs. When you unleash it from the confines of its holster, it will be time to dance. The quick will overcome the dead. Finally, Deej says his usual disclaimer, Destiny is a work in progress, and then all items, details, names, and pieces of random trivia are subject to change or being shot down in a blaze of glory. So that's your drawing board for the week. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.